Admiral James Thornton stood on the bridge of the flagship, watching as the Galactic Council's emissary materialized in the air before him. The alien figure, towering and imposing, delivered its message with chilling clarity. Earth must submit and provide tribute, or face obliteration. Thornton, a veteran of countless space missions, felt a surge of defiance. His keen blue eyes never wavered as he studied the emissary. The decision that lay ahead was not just about survival. It was about the future of humanity. In the war room below, Earth's leaders gathered, their faces a mix of fear and determination. The room hummed with a low buzz of anxious conversations. Prime Minister David Harper, a man known for his calm under pressure, called the meeting to order. "We must discuss our response," Harper began, his voice steady. "Admiral Thornton, what are our options?" Thornton stepped forward, his presence commanding the room's attention. "We have two choices: surrender and become vassals, or fight and defend our sovereignty. I believe we should resist. We have the technology and the strategic advantage to mount a formidable defense." Lieutenant Sarah Connor, Thornton's second-in-command, nodded in agreement. Known for her tactical acumen, she had already begun analyzing potential battle strategies. "We can leverage our advanced stealth capabilities and hit their supply lines. Guerrilla tactics will be our strength." Dr. Rahul Patel, the chief engineer, leaned in. "Our new energy shields and propulsion systems give us a significant edge. We can withstand their initial assault and strike back where they least expect it." Harper looked around the room, weighing the counsel of his advisors. "And the risks?" Thornton's jaw tightened. "High, but the alternative is slavery." The room fell silent as each member pondered the gravity of the decision. Finally, Harper spoke. "We fight, mobilize the fleet, and may our resolve be stronger than their arrogance." As orders were relayed, the atmosphere shifted from uncertainty to purpose. Thornton returned to the bridge, where the crew was already preparing for the impending conflict. The stars outside the viewport seemed to glint with a newfound intensity, as if aware of the battle about to unfold. Thornton took a moment to address his crew. "We are facing a powerful enemy, but we are not alone. Each one of you is vital to this mission. Remember, we fight not just for Earth, but for our right to exist as free beings in this universe." The crew responded with a unified, determined nod. Thornton's words carried the weight of history and the promise of tomorrow. As the fleet moved into formation, sensors began to detect the approach of the Council's vanguard. The tension on the bridge escalated, but Thornton's voice remained calm. "Prepare for engagement. All hands to battle stations." The ships, sleek and bristling with weaponry, took their positions. The vastness of space was about to become a battleground, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. Thornton's strategic mind whirred as he issued commands, each move calculated to counter the alien threat. As the enemy ships appeared on the horizon, shimmering ominously, Thornton's gaze hardened. He knew that the coming hours would test their mettle in ways they had never imagined. Yet he felt a quiet confidence. Humanity had faced existential threats before and had always found a way to endure. "Incoming transmission," announced the communications officer. The emissary's face reappeared, smirking. "Your defiance is noted. Prepare to be annihilated." Thornton cut the transmission with a flick of his hand. "All units, engage on my mark." The first salvo of missiles streaked through the void, marking the beginning of humanity's stand against the Galactic Council. Explosions lit up the darkness, and the battle commenced with ferocious intensity. In the chaos of the skirmish, Lieutenant Connor's voice cut through the comms. "Admiral, the flagship is taking heavy fire. We need to adjust our tactics." Thornton nodded, quickly recalculating. "Deploy the stealth fighters. Target their command ship. We need to disrupt their coordination." As the stealth fighters launched, cloaked and nearly invisible, Thornton watched the tactical display with laser focus. The initial clash was brutal, but humanity's resilience began to show. The enemy was powerful, but they had underestimated the ingenuity and determination of the human spirit. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the flagship. The deck shuddered beneath Thornton's feet, but he remained steady. "Damage report. Critical hit to the aft section," came the reply. "We're losing power. Redirect all available power to shields and weapons," Thornton commanded. "We hold the line here." Just as it seemed the tide was turning in their favor, a colossal alien battleship appeared out of hyperspace, dwarfing anything they had seen before. "Brace for impact," Thornton shouted, as the new threat loomed large on the horizon. Thornton's flagship shuddered as the colossal alien battleship loomed large on the viewscreen. "All hands, brace for impact," he ordered, his voice steady despite the imminent threat. The bridge crew sprang into action, their movements precise and rehearsed. Lieutenant Sarah Connor, ever vigilant, quickly analyzed the new adversary. "Admiral, their ship is equipped with advanced shielding and multiple weapons arrays. We'll need to outmaneuver them." "Agreed," Thornton replied. "Helm, evasive maneuvers. Weapons, prepare to fire on my mark." As the human fleet engaged, the void was filled with beams of light and exploding debris. The alien battleship unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, shaking the smaller human ships. Thornton's mind raced through possible tactics. "Dr. Patel, any updates on our new energy shields?" Thornton asked, hoping for a technological edge. "Shields are holding, but barely," Dr. Patel reported from engineering. "We can maintain current levels for now, but if they intensify their attack, we'll be in trouble." "Understood. Lieutenant Connor, initiate countermeasures and deploy decoys. We need to confuse their targeting systems." Connor nodded, her fingers flying over the controls. Dozens of decoy drones launched from the human ships, creating a field of false targets. The alien weapons faltered, momentarily thrown off. "Now, all units, focus fire on their shield generators," Thornton commanded. Coordinated beams of energy and missile fire converged on the designated target. The alien shields flared, struggling to absorb the assault. On the tactical display, the enemy ship's defenses began to flicker. Thornton seized the opportunity. "Full attack. Concentrate all firepower." The combined might of the human fleet broke through the alien shielding, and several direct hits landed on the enemy hull. Explosions rippled across the alien ship, sending debris spiraling into space. "Admiral, their main weapon systems are down," Connor reported, a hint of triumph in her voice. "Good work, everyone," Thornton said, allowing himself a brief moment of relief. "But we're not out of this yet. Dr. Patel, how's the fleet holding up?" "Minor damage to most ships, but we've lost 2 destroyers," Patel replied. "Casualty reports are coming in." Thornton felt the weight of each loss but pushed forward. "Prepare for a second wave. The Council won't give up this easily." As if on cue, sensors picked up more enemy ships dropping out of hyperspace. This time, smaller, faster craft designed for close combat. They swarmed the human fleet, weaving through defensive fire with agility. "Adjust formation. Protect our flanks," Thornton barked. "Connor, take charge of the fighter squadrons and repel those interceptors." Connor relayed the orders, and human fighters surged forward to meet the enemy head-on. The battle intensified, with dogfights erupting across the field. Pilots displayed extraordinary skill, evading enemy fire and striking back with precision. Thornton's focus never wavered. He coordinated the fleet's movements, anticipating the enemy's tactics. His experience and intuition kept the human ships one step ahead, but the battle was far from over. "Admiral," detecting unusual energy signatures from the alien flagship, the sensor officer reported. "It looks like they're charging a massive weapon. All ships, prepare for impact," Thornton shouted. The alien weapon fired, a blinding beam of energy cutting through space. Thornton's flagship took the brunt of the blast, alarms blaring as systems overloaded. "Damage report," Thornton demanded, gripping the railing to steady himself. "Heavy damage to the port side, shields down to 20%, came the response. Thornton knew they couldn't withstand another hit like that. "We need to take out that weapon. Dr. Patel, any ideas?" Patel's voice crackled over the comms. If we can overload their energy core, it might cause a chain reaction and disable the weapon. Connor, target their energy core. All ships, cover our approach. The fleet rallied, focusing their fire on the alien flagship's energy core. The battle raged, with ships dodging enemy fire and retaliating with every ounce of firepower they had. Finally, a well-placed torpedo from Connor's squadron breached the alien ship's hull, striking the energy core. The resulting explosion was cataclysmic, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. The alien flagship disintegrated in a blinding flash. Thornton watched as the remnants of the enemy fleet retreated. All units stand down. Begin recovery operations. As the human ships regrouped, Thornton took a moment to reflect. They had won this battle, but at great cost. The losses weighed heavily on him, but he knew the fight was far from over. Prepare for immediate repairs and resupply, he ordered. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. As Thornton issued his commands, an urgent message came through from Earth. Admiral, we've intercepted a transmission. The Council is mobilizing their main fleet. They're preparing for a full-scale invasion. Thornton's eyes hardened. The true test of their resolve was yet to come. Admiral James Thornton stood at the central console of the flagship, studying the damage reports. The battle had taken a toll, but the fleet remained intact. The enemy's unexpected retreat provided a brief respite, but Thornton knew it wouldn't last. Status update, Dr. Patel? He asked, turning to the chief engineer. Repairs are underway, Patel replied. We've managed to stabilize the shields and are working on restoring full power. We'll be battle-ready in a few hours. Good. We need to be prepared for the next wave, Thornton said, his mind already calculating their next move. In the war room, key members of the fleet gathered. Lieutenant Sarah Connor projected a tactical map, highlighting recent engagements and current fleet positions. We've inflicted significant damage on the enemy, but intelligence suggests they're regrouping for a full-scale invasion. Prime Minister David Harper's face appeared on the comms screen. Admiral, we intercepted a transmission. The Council's main fleet is on the move. Their goal is total annihilation. Thornton nodded. We expected this. Our next move is crucial. We need a strategy that maximizes our strengths and exploits their weaknesses. Connor pointed to a section of the map. This sector contains a dense asteroid field. We can use it for cover and launch ambushes. It's risky but could give us the element of surprise. Agreed, Thornton said. Dr. Patel, can we enhance our stealth systems for this operation? We're working on boosting the cloak efficiency, Patel responded. It should be operational by the time we reach the asteroid field. Excellent. Connor, coordinate with the fleet. We move out as soon as repairs are complete, Thornton ordered. As the crew set to work, Thornton took a moment to visit the medical bay. Injured personnel lay in rows, attended by medics. The sight of his wounded comrades steeled his resolve. He approached one of the beds, where a young pilot named Ensign Kelly was recovering. How are you holding up, Kelly? Thornton asked, his tone gentle. I'll be ready to fly again soon, sir, Kelly replied, attempting a smile despite the pain. That's the spirit, Thornton said. We need every pilot we can get. Rest up and get back to us. Leaving the medical bay, Thornton felt a surge of determination. These brave men and women were counting on him to lead them through the coming storm. He returned to the bridge, where final preparations were underway. As the fleet entered the asteroid field, the environment changed dramatically. Massive rocks drifted silently, creating a labyrinthine battlefield. The ships navigated carefully, using the asteroids as cover. All units, maintain radio silence and engage cloaking devices, Thornton ordered. We'll use the element of surprise to our advantage. The minutes ticked by as the fleet lay in wait. Suddenly, enemy ships began to appear on the sensors, moving cautiously through the field. Thornton watched the tactical display, waiting for the right moment. Now, he commanded. The human fleet sprang into action, emerging from their hiding places and unleashing a devastating volley of fire. The enemy, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Connor coordinated the attack with precision, directing squadrons to key targets. Human fighters darted through the asteroid field, striking enemy vessels with deadly accuracy. The chaos of the battlefield played to their strengths. Dr. Patel's enhanced cloaking systems proved invaluable, allowing human ships to disappear and reappear unpredictably. The enemy struggled to track their movements, creating confusion and disorder. Amid the battle, Thornton received an urgent message from one of the reconnaissance ships. "Admiral, we've located the enemy command ship. It's heavily guarded, but if we can take it out, we can cripple their fleet." "Understood. Connor, prepare a strike team. We're going after their command ship," Thornton ordered. As the strike team assembled, Thornton briefed them on the mission. "This is our chance to turn the tide. Hit them hard and fast. We need to disable their command structure." The strike team launched, weaving through the battlefield towards their target. Enemy fire intensified as they neared the command ship, but the team pressed on, driven by the importance of their mission. Thornton monitored their progress from the bridge, his heart racing. The strike team reached the command ship and initiated their attack, targeting critical systems. Explosions rippled through the enemy vessel, and its defenses faltered. "Command ship is disabled," Connor reported. "The enemy fleet is in disarray." Thornton felt a surge of hope. "All units, press the attack. This is our moment." The human fleet redoubled their efforts, capitalizing on the enemy's confusion. Ships that had been on the defensive now went on the offensive, driving the enemy back. The tide of battle shifted decisively. An alert flashed on the tactical display. "Incoming transmission from Earth," the comms officer announced. "It's urgent." Thornton's expression turned serious as he opened the channel, bracing for the news that awaited them. Admiral James Thornton stood at the command console, the incoming transmission from Earth filling the bridge with urgency. Prime Minister Harper's face was grave. "Admiral, we've confirmed it. The Galactic Council's main fleet is en route. They're preparing for a full-scale invasion." Thornton nodded, his mind racing. "Understood, Prime Minister. We'll be ready." He cut the transmission and turned to his officers. "All hands, prepare for battle. We need to defend our home with everything we have." The fleet, still in the asteroid field, began final preparations. Lieutenant Sarah Connor coordinated the repositioning of ships, ensuring they utilized the natural cover provided by the massive rocks. Dr. Rahul Patel oversaw the final adjustments to the stealth systems and weapon calibrations. "Admiral, we have incoming contacts on long-range sensors," the tactical officer reported. "It's the Council's main fleet." Thornton took a deep breath. "All units, activate cloaking devices and hold positions. Wait for my signal." As the enemy fleet drew closer, the size of the armada became evident. Dozens of warships, bristling with weaponry, moved in a tight formation. Thornton's eyes narrowed. He knew this battle would be the ultimate test of their strategy and resolve. "Patel, status on the energy shields?" Thornton asked. "Shields at maximum capacity," Patel replied. "We're as ready as we'll ever be." Thornton glanced at Connor. "Are the strike teams in position?" "Yes, sir. Ready to launch on your command," Connor confirmed. The seconds ticked by as the enemy fleet closed in. Thornton raised his hand, eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Wait for it. Wait. Now. All units, engage." The human fleet sprang into action, decloaking and launching a coordinated assault. The asteroid field lit up with the glow of energy weapons and explosions. Human ships weaved through the asteroids, striking enemy vessels with precision. Thornton's flagship led the charge, its weapons blazing. "Connor, take command of the fighter squadrons. Patel, maintain shield integrity. We can't afford to lose any ships." Connor directed the fighters, her voice calm and authoritative. Human pilots displayed extraordinary skill, taking down enemy fighters and protecting the larger ships. Patel worked tirelessly, rerouting power to shields and weapons as needed. Despite their efforts, the sheer number of enemy ships began to take a toll. Thornton knew they needed to disrupt the enemy's command structure. "Focus fire on their flagship," he ordered. "We need to cut off the head." The fleet redirected their assault, targeting the massive enemy command ship. The alien vessel returned fire, its advanced weaponry causing significant damage. Thornton's ship shook violently as it took a direct hit. "Damage report," he shouted. "Heavy damage to the port side." The damage control officer responded. "We've lost several weapon systems." Thornton gritted his teeth. "Keep firing. We need to take that ship down." As the battle raged, an idea formed in Thornton's mind. "Patel, can we overload their shields with a concentrated energy burst?" "It's risky, but it might work," Patel replied. "We'd need to get close enough to deliver the burst directly." Thornton made a quick decision. "Connor, prepare a strike team. We're going in." Connor's eyes widened, but she nodded. "Understood, Admiral. We'll cover you." Thornton led a small team in a shuttle, weaving through the battlefield towards the enemy flagship. Under heavy fire, they approached the alien vessel. Patel worked frantically to prepare the energy burst. "Ready, Admiral," Patel said, his voice steady despite the chaos. "Do it," Thornton ordered. Patel activated the burst, and a blinding pulse of energy shot from the shuttle, striking the enemy ship's shields. The shields flickered and then collapsed, leaving the vessel vulnerable. "All units, concentrate fire on the enemy flagship," Thornton commanded. The human fleet unleashed a relentless barrage. The enemy command ship shuddered under the assault, and finally, with a massive explosion, it was destroyed. The destruction of the flagship sent shockwaves through the enemy fleet. Disoriented and leaderless, the alien ships began to retreat. "Victory is ours," Connor reported, a smile breaking through her usual stoicism. Thornton breathed a sigh of relief. "Well done, everyone. Begin recovery operations and prepare for possible reinforcements." Thornton stood on the bridge, watching as the remnants of the enemy fleet fled. He knew the fight for humanity's future was far from over, but today, they had proven their strength and determination. "All ships, set course for Earth. We have a lot of work ahead of us."